Good evening, everyone. Well, the ones who know me as Ty. You know, the ones that left here call me Tyron, and I'm Kevin to some, Mr. Powell to some, and Daddy, Freaky Ty, Fly. I've had a lot of different aliases in my day, but you call me what you feel best. I answer to it all. My Raleigh days, I was KP. I never in my life been called that, but they called me KP in Raleigh. But go by a lot of different names, but I'm Ty.
That's what's up. I like to loosen it up and find some little small things about you because everybody need to know. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to know though, but everybody like certain kind of music, certain people, certain movies or whatever. And my first couple of questions is basically to loosen it up a little bit. If you had to name your top 3 rappers of all time, lyrically or however you classify rappers, who are they?
Top 3 of all time. Wow. Well, people who know me know I love Nas, and I was a Biggie man. Biggie and Nas is always my dudes. Going through these streets, but as far as lyrically, Nas is my favorite, but I'm a Rakim guy. Rakim kind of paved the way, really before Nas, but I'm an old school guy. KRS-One and Nas and them probably my top 3. But I like a lot of different people. Mobb Deep. We grew up on them. Lots, all these.
Did we go to, was that Freaknik?
Man, yeah, it wasn't Freaknik, but you remember son took us to Atlanta when we all linked up with Mobb Deep and at some party. Remember?
I thought that was Freaknik of 90-something.
It was one of them Freakniks, but it's crazy. My favorite, I ain't say my favorite, but my first actual show was the Fat Boys. I saw them back in the day in Raleigh. Me and my brother. It was like 83, the Fat Boys. But Nas though, I done seen Nas so much, and I kind of grew up on him and a lot of his lyrics on kind of saved me. I always say.
That's what's up. Okay. Laughter is good for the soul. So if you had to look at a stand-up or a movie that can make you laugh every time, or you might see something funnier in it every time you watch it, what movie would that be?
Wow. Movies. I mean, and it'll have to be something old because I ain't gonna say I ain't a movie guy, but it's something probably ain't on a lot of people's list, but Who Made the Potato Salad? That's far as funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's that scene and the whole movie kind of there's a lot of humor in it. And that scene at the table is probably a classic.
That came out around the same time as like State Property too, right?
Yeah. But the Friday's always the classics, and my kids love that Friday. All them little scenes.
If you could remember one scary movie when you were small that got you, the one that got you. Everybody wasn't scared of all scary movies. You know what I'm saying? Like me, myself, I wasn't scared of no Freddy Krueger. But I ain't gonna lie, what got me, and I want to, you go first. I want to, you know what I'm saying?
The movie that got me, I was a scary dude anyway, far as it was a lot of stuff that got me, man. I mean, I'm telling on myself now that I'm older, but I was a scary dude.
Was Jason worse than
my family can attest to that?
Or was Jason scarier than Michael Myers?
Yeah, because he was first. for me, Jason was. The Twilight Zone music used to scare me.
Why? It was so late at night.
late at night.
We had cable.
I was still the one like to sleep with a light on, but yeah, I was scary though.
Yeah. I had one, I can't remember the name of it, but some people went to a cabin in the woods and they went in the basement and a girl got bit by something in the basement and they closed the door on her. But she's in the basement, but I don't know what it was, but it scared me. That one got me for a minute.
Them Amityvilles, all them, they did me in. Them old, I think them possessed me. I ain't like that. Poltergeist, the voice of that girl on Poltergeist, I ain't like that.
I ain't gonna lie, Michael Myers, he got me though. Michael Myers, that's one. If you, I know you done heard some good singing because your mama could sing, but as far as gospel singing,
oh my,
who's a choir or people that right now today, living or dead, that besides your mama and choir, that if you could listen to right now, who would it be?
Wow, man, that's the root right there. I mean, that's where we came from. We was in the
the buzz of promise.
Your brothers and sisters, all of us, and we used to sing to our mother, harmonize, as she used to say. But man, I mean, you gotta love, Glory Jean. That was the old school choir.
A lot of good choir back around then.
The Purdy reunion, the Purdy choir. A lot of people don't remember.
The Molly Male choir back in the day with Roscoe.
Yes, Roscoe them. That was old school. The Mighty Echoes. I can go way back to the Sandhill choir, the missionary. I mean, when I was a little boy, them some singing people, man. That's what we grew up on. My aunts and a lot of my family on both sides would sing. It's crazy. Both of my grandparents, it's a picture. I got it in my truck. Both of my grandparents, my grandfather, my mama, my cousins, my aunts, all of them was in that choir. And they cut a record back in the day.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yep. And they did 2 songs and that was like, that's a history right there. The Sandhill Missionary Choir. I mean, I got the record in my truck somewhere, but I still got the original picture.
And that's crazy. Whenever you was back in your days, whatever, coming up in your 20s and stuff in Raleigh and stuff, what was that singer? Like, how people say, they tell their kids, boy, you was born off of him. You know what I'm saying? Or Marvin Gaye. Or I ain't gonna lie, mine was Gerald Levert.
Gerald Levert?
Oh, my goodness.
Well,
you want to fight me? Say something about Gerald Levert.
I tell you what, it was something about that Babyface back, that album. I forgot the name of it, but everybody know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that was a classic. I mean, I think that's the first time a girl sung to me over the phone and stuff like that. And
ain't it crazy how music was good back then?
You remember that was for the cell phones where people call your phone and hold the line up. You ain't had it but one line.
Mm-hmm. And your parents knew who was calling, you know what I'm saying? How long you been on the phone. And
for real. I remember running my grandmother's phone bill up one time, calling over the river. 588 was long distance. Right here in Mount Olive, you call Cypress Creek. That was long distance. And I didn't know. I just dialed the number.
And that's crazy because me and wifey be looking at TV and they had the not info commercials though, but the commercials about the life insurance commercials. And they talk to all the old people. Call now. The call is free. Like, who do you think you're talking to? Somebody with a rotary phone or something? Anybody call free. You can call free right now. That's your pitch.
For real.
Okay. But the music was a whole. I know the older generation say the same thing. Our music was a whole lot better though, but compared to now and the porn music, R&B was a whole lot better.
Oh my goodness.
God, I mean, and we got another show about what happened to it because it wasn't on purpose. It ain't natural. If something ain't natural, then it was by the hands of somebody who didn't mean it no good. But yeah, music was.
But how do you wake up to the WAP now? at 6 o'clock in the morning.
And it's crazy because they keep playing it over and over as if the people who are working are the ones that's requesting it. The people who are requesting are real young. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
And we got to have a show on that.
Yeah,
and we got to have a call in because y'all, we know what happened to the music. We seen it. We seen how that's too deep. That's too deep.
Yeah.
That's a whole different show about hip hop. Don't think that on this hip hop or rap that we listen to now is natural. Nah, people doing this on purpose. They're making money off of it, and it's way deeper than that.
Mm-hmm.
But Ty, and okay, speaking of that, our young men around here, some of them are, good young men going to school, or when you going to school, you working, or you got a plan, whatever. Sometimes gang members do get a bad rep. But what's funny is that being that there ain't been no parties around here lately, there ain't really been no killings. So the proof is in the pudding.
Mm-hmm.
What is your feeling about the young men now compared to how y'all was coming up?
Man, I mean, it's crazy. It's light years different. It ain't really a comparison as far as how we were and how they are now. I mean, maybe it's more, I don't know, it's more jealous and envy. We wasn't jealous and envy back when we was teenagers and running early. We was just running in packs of dudes and no gangs, and everybody's linking up doing them and having fun. You had the ones that would fall back. You had the ones that was go-getters. You had the ones and everybody knew their lane. I mean, the lane we played. We didn't run with people. We ran with them, but we knew to fall back because that wasn't what we was doing. But these kids now, they all so many followers now that they don't see the traps and they little friends and think they're gonna be there when they go get locked up and they get a bid. Ain't nobody gonna be there for you. I mean, you ain't gonna do them to put pressure on you. I can't even say your loved ones. You're gonna put pressure on a loved one to take care of you when you get in some trouble. So, during our time, we had, you had a pops. I had one that was, laid the law down, and me and my brother knew, we ran places that we probably ain't supposed to be, but we knew in this ear right here what was told to us. So, and it was a decision you had to make. You either you're gonna listen or you're gonna stay out in the streets. But some people didn't have.
You're right. So they didn't have
a man telling them what to do. I mean, I thank God for that. That's why now I tell my boys what to do, as far as not how to do it, and they're gonna get their own mind. I always say when you get about 12, 13, your parents don't lose you, but you get your own mind, and you start to
in puberty. Big thing about
a lot of things change, and don't get no girl early. Then you don't want to listen to nobody. I mean, ask me how I know. So,
well, pros and cons of everything, because you get a girl early, you go through it early.
You go through it.
Ain't nothing sadder than an old person who just break it up for the first time with somebody he been with since he was in high school. He's suicidal.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Goodness. I done seen it. I done seen that. We all done been through certain things, but with these kids now, they just it's scary, man. I mean, I ain't scared of them, but it's scary as far as a whole, or the direction that a lot of them going and what they glorify. Glorified. I mean, they putting it out here. You got these electronics and these social media, these platforms and all this stuff, and you giving them too much wants and things that they think they're supposed to acquire in life.
Too much access.
And we didn't have all the access, and we came up in a golden time, and during our time it was real, it was pure. Some fell by the wayside, but the ones who made it, and I say we made it. I mean, we be 50. We almost 50. And we've been running, me and you, for a long time, and a lot of people know that. And we saved each other a lot, especially running these streets and seeing things that we know was right and wrong. And that was the life we grew up in, and we made it. You know, and we still making it, but we made it out of a time where it was
a lot of us didn't make it.
It was easy to get in trouble. I mean, not to brag, we ain't got charges. We didn't have to go to jail to learn and to see what was where we ain't want to go.
Yeah, that's what you remind me of something that Southside Scully, me and him talking. And he's like, you know, Scully, I talk, oh nigga, you ain't from the streets, you know what I'm saying? You in the hood, you ain't from the streets, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the streets.
Yeah.
And I was finna say, you ain't, I thought about it. I said, you know what, you're right. I ain't from the streets. Thank you, Johnny L. McCoy.
Exactly.
For real. Thank you, Dad. You know what I'm saying? Because exactly. I'm not from the streets. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
I had to think about it, you know what I'm saying, before I snap back at him. But yeah, things are different. It's a whole lot more guns, and the music is different. The tone of the music. Do you remember the place we used to go and how people party? They ain't go there to stand around or to ice grill somebody, or they party. Yeah, things are different. It's a whole lot more guns, and the music is different. The tone of the music. Do you remember the place we used to go and how people party? They ain't go there to stand around or to ice grill somebody, or they party. They slow dance.
Yes.
You had to slow dance before you left the party. You know what I'm saying?
Goodness.
You slow dance, you had your chicken sandwich, your gin and juice, whatever though. But everybody came there and party. And it's crazy. And being that I like to play music, I sit there and watch as it slowly changed. You know what I'm saying? And the boys would get in a little group, and the girls get in a little group, and they do a video dance. They see on video, but nobody was. And it was sad, to tell the truth, but
that left the kind of, I mean, the party scene. I mean, what I know about it. Well, big shout out to Al Boogie last night. Yeah, that was a party. That was a party last night. You know, it was old school. And
about what was the age limit in the?
It was, the average was 40 plus 40, easy. And that was an old school party because a lot of people went in there and they danced. You know, I didn't. Crazy. I love to dance, and I mean, I love to party, but I was out of my element. I wasn't on one. I wasn't turned.
You just sticking your head out.
Yeah, I stuck my head out, you know, because I don't get a chance to be out like I used to be. You know, I'm doing different things, and
we're getting older.
Doing different things, but I still love being out. And, you know, it was good last night to see people have a good time, and it was all love. You know, when you get a group of old people, especially, and that's my era, that's our era. I ain't gonna say mine, but you know, our era, what I grew up in and what I'm comfortable around. And you know, we try to do that in the hood, but you know, everybody know the situation. Far as you can't do things like that hood, but you know, we are MOP. That's what we are, motivating other people and trying to, you know, give people an outlet to be who they are. You know, we come from a community of love. You know, our parents linked up years ago. They linked us up. And my parents gone now, but his parents still here. And, you know, I look at them like father and mother like figures. So, you know, they still showing the same love they showed when we was kids. So, you know, that's enough respect.
It's that generation, cuz.
Oh yeah.
That generation is dying out with we dropping the ball. Drop the ball.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
You probably can testify to this. I remember being 10, 11, 12 years old, and staying in New York with Dean and Gobi, Miss Gobi, you know what I'm saying? And they ain't even my blood aunts or uncles.
Yeah.
I remember staying 15 years old with your people in Jersey, whatever. Nowadays, you can't get somebody to send their kid, for one thing, to New York or New Jersey for a summer or a month or whatever. And then you ain't gonna have people that's gonna take somebody else's kid nowadays. My house, I'm saying that.
No, nobody don't want the uproot they routine in their house. For one,
that generation, man, that's
during
gone.
that time that made us that's a highlight of my life. I always say, I thank God when my mom let me and my brother in 1986 go to New Jersey with her brother, my Uncle Boda, when he took us to Patterson, New Jersey, when I was a kid. Never in my life seen nothing like that. That was real. That's something I needed to see. And that didn't, I ain't gonna say that made me, but that showed me a whole nother side of the world. I mean, I'm from the country, I'm from here. And to go to the city and to see a different world, I need to see that. And I kind of took the country and the city and mixed it together, and it came me.
That's what's up. Now, back in the days, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit though, but we used to go and we partied like we was talking about earlier, and we had to catch a ride back then. It's crazy how back then you rode with anybody. You rode with anybody to the clubs, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You know who you ride with though. But what are some of the clubs that you had the best times at back in the day?
Oh my goodness, clubs. How far can we go back? We go back to the original Burgundy Room, one of the originals, the Bridge Inn. When we was kids, sneaking up in there. We can get in any place. We always could. At young ages, me and A.M.P was younger than a lot of cats, where we had older brothers and older sisters, so we always could get into stuff. But the Bridge Inn, the Burgundy Room, Sandhill, definitely a classic. Everybody didn't know about the infamous Sandhill. That was a time of, I ain't gonna say everybody know about it. Everybody don't know about those times. And Lakeside, Wyver, Touch of Class, we partied in Charlotte. Everywhere Stan was at, that blue bus was at, we was there. The New Worlds and party, that's all we did. And Lighthouse, that's the infamous Lighthouse. We was living in Raleigh, coming from Raleigh and going back to Raleigh from the Lighthouse.
This kind of made a lot of money off the Lighthouse too.
Man.
They were getting roadblocks
they
across the river
up,
and knowing he was coming. Yeah,
they was locking people up like on the real for no reason. I ain't gonna say no reason. They knew what was going on.
It wasn't nothing to go to court and somebody there with you, traffic or whatever, and they telling stories about getting stopped to leaving Lighthouse and going to jail in Blaine County or having a court date. Yeah, they ran it for a long time.
But the clubs kind of died down. I mean, even town was jumping one time with the Cosmos or whatever. Then they changed it up a few times. We did it up to Chaverns and we did all that. The same people, and they have you. I've been kind of fell off the news. I used to read the newspaper all the time. I hadn't done that in years, reading the newspaper. But I don't know, that news there's so much trickery in it to me, and that I see in it. As far as you can't believe everything, you turn it to another channel and they saying something different.
And that's why we got to have our own way of communicating.
Definitely.
Hopefully this show going to pick up and it'll be an everyday thing so we can stay communicating and know what's going on. They could be killing our people in the next town over. If they say, what's going on, what are we going to do?
Yeah, it's definitely, it's sad far as even what's promoted out here for the people to, if you ain't getting the knowledge like from somebody that know what's really going on, you getting bamboozled out here.
Communication is definitely key.
People better communicate a little bit.
How do you feel about our young girls? I know they got it hard now from the images that they see as far as videos and rap music, R&B music, but there are a lot of them out there that's doing good. I mean, a lot of them out there I see working. You know, all these jobs are available, and you go in the store and see a little black girl in there working. Good job to you if nobody else gonna tell you.
Yeah.
And to the one that's in college and the one that graduated college, your nieces, right?
Yeah, definitely. I got a few family members in college doing the college thing, and don't get me wrong, college ain't for everybody. And there's a lot of things out here that you can do. I wish I would have applied myself more. But with these kids now, especially these young girls, it's a whole lot of temptation, but I see it's a whole lot of opportunity for young women in general now, because women, they running the world now. And it's a lot of dudes that don't want to do nothing no more. That's a whole nother story too. But it's time for women that are getting ahead in life right now. They business owners, they running trucks, and they doing it big now. And it's time for it. Seems like things kind of flip flop with.
Is that good for the black family?
Nah, I don't think so. If you living in the old way, the man, the head of the house, if you ain't got that person that really understand that can be difficult, because women they got a lot of power now, and that can be a conflict of interest now at the house if those things ain't really established.
Oh, you're right, because a man could be making most of the money, paying most of the bills, and y'all go through arguments, go through hard times, this and that, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe if the woman making the most money and she can handle stuff by herself, it ain't gonna be too many arguments. You know what I'm saying? There ain't gonna be too many hard times whenever you gotta go, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You getting out of there. This day and time, a woman ain't not gonna deal with that. And the women who are handicapping the dudes out here, I feel sorry for you for doing that. But with the young girls now, I mean, one thing I ain't gonna say I don't like, in here, especially black kids, black girls, and we all got soul. I think from the time you can sit up, and we know about music and bouncing and playing, but we got to stop. Not unless you gonna put your kid into the type of field, the acting or the dancing or whatever. We got to quit glorifying these especially little girls being, you got some that's a little developed more than others, and they be prancing around and bouncing around. That's cute and all, but that's also, they got a lot of perverts out here in the world, and they target little pretty girls, and I say that I got a daughter, I got a granddaughter, and there's just certain things that I see that could draw the wrong attention to a little girl. You can mark them, and if you're gonna push them to that, like I say, that lifestyle, that's something different. But everything ain't cute to me personally.
Kids to me should dress like kids,
and some of the stuff is going overboard, and
some people are sick. Some dudes out there are watching. Yo, man, I watched a show one time, and the dude said, he watching it. I mean, he's a real dude, and he said that the stuff the girl was doing, she was hitting on me.
See,
in his mind, she was hitting on him because she smiled to him. She, hey, this, that, whatever, and then walked away. He said she walked away twitching.
Yeah, it's sick, mental. I mean, everybody's mental capability is not on the same level. So you could do something as an innocent kid can do around me, but to another person that maybe not have the mindset, you can't do that. they're gonna think totally different. So, that can draw the unwanted attention to a little young girl, and that's the only thing I kind of see that I pay attention to, because I worked in the school system. I work around K through 4 kids, and
That fourth grade. Woo.
and there you don't want to get the wrong person in the school system. Don't let that go over your head. Though you get the wrong person in the school system, that can tamper a school system.
Bus drivers.
Call a spade a spade. You can tamper the school system is with the way you live as an adult.
Yeah, girls got a heart nowadays. I mean,
Hey,
they ain't got no help.
Spade a spade.
They ain't got no help, man, because me and you can only talk them but so far about the women. I want somebody to come on here, a woman, and give the girls the heads up. Ty, we had friends that, you know what I'm saying, they'll take something. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But we need girls in here to warn girls of the signs of somebody that ain't right, or situations that you shouldn't go into. Because if you go in a hotel room with somebody at a certain time of night,
oh my goodness,
and he's not right, I mean, you won't know he ain't right until you get in the hotel room.
That's right.
Everybody got some smooth talk, whatever, though, but some people ain't right, you know what I'm saying? And don't take no for the answer, but you done already put yourself in a situation. We need women to come on this show and, as we call, build with other women, well, young women, so they can avoid the pitfalls.
To tell these young girls that that's not the way.
Because we know there are some guys that ain't right and will take something, you know what I'm saying? So,
and I know y'all know what he mean by take something, right?
They know.
Okay.
They know. And girls too need to know that they don't have to be a certain way. It ain't just bullying from men that'll take something. I noticed that during the Me Too movement, it wasn't no women getting charged. It wasn't no women getting called out. You can't tell me in the WNBA, whatever, you ain't got some girls that, you know what I'm saying? That happens in high school and in pro, whatever. So be careful the girls you hang around too. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to do nothing you don't want to. Don't do nothing that. See, some of y'all girls got it twisted. Me and Ty can talk about our grandmas, Hannah Smith and Miss Rebecca, and look back at old pictures, and that's our grandma. Y'all doing stuff now on these pictures, on these books and Facebook, whatever, that when y'all grandkids might be sitting y'all gray and old, whatever, but they can go on Facebook and see you scissoring somebody or kissing girls or popping pills or doing whatever.
That ain't what you want to see.
That ain't what you want to see. And then you ain't the same grandma no more. Okay? So be careful what you taking pictures of, and these boys, everybody picture gotta have a middle finger in it.
Yeah.
What are you mad at? You ain't even paying no bills. Know what I'm saying? These middle finger this, middle finger that. You ain't buy the clothes you got on your back.
The homies used to do that a lot though.
Yeah, get a middle finger for what?
Yeah.
What are you mad at? I mean,
but yeah,
life is good.
Definitely,
life is what you make it.
Them girls, there's a lot we all could do, with the young girls and the men and the boys. That's a whole nother story. I mean,
we need to do our own version of the Cubs and Boy Scouts. Just because they had some perverts in there and they think shut down, whatever. A lot of our boys need to be taught certain stuff, certain survival stuff, certain how to tie ties. The Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, as far as the premise of it, is a good idea. We need to do it for our youth. Name it something else.
That's right.
But we need to do that the same thing for our youth. 4-H, the same thing that we had coming up. You know what I'm saying? That give us time to go do something with other people. And even if you didn't play sports, you had a Cub Scout group or a 4-H group, whatever. You had a clique to socialize with. Now, if you don't play sports, you just a little, thumb thug, what they call.
That's it. And if you don't get these kids at the K through 4 level, when they first start in school, before they get to the middle school, they lost. And don't get me wrong, people. I'm not getting on nobody kids. I mean, everybody got their own problems, but there are signs that you will see with your kid. Don't be naive. And I say that with real, we're experienced somewhat, when it comes to mental health. Mental health is serious out here, and a lot of people battling, a lot of kids going through it. And I have a son that has a mental problem, and it manifests in a bad way for him. And he's away. There's nothing wrong with getting your kid help. Not that I knew or didn't get him help purposely or whatever. They can mask. You can mask certain things, and you think it's just they just being growing up. Oh, you just this or that. You're a kid, but there's signs. A lot of people be that probably watching right now or will watch this thing that may be going through a lot of real stuff. And if a lot of people follow me and been following me who know me, a lot of my statuses is from the mental side of my life, as far as what I got to deal with. And that's real. That's not for the weak, to be honest. But it ain't. You're not alone out here. I know there's a lot of people that's going through it, but you might want to seek help early before it manifests in a bad way. And when it comes to a lot of mental illness, it happens as they get a certain age, and it flares up in a whole nother level, and it gets out of your hand. But it's a road that we still traveling down. With me and my son. I ain't never spoke on this on a social platform, but almost 7 years in, and it's something real. I've been riding with him ever since. He doing okay. We looking forward to the future, and I try to keep him up positive. But dealing with schizophrenia is real. A lot of people might have not been diagnosed, but that stuff is real. And that what he go through, I've been going through it with him. And it put an effect on me. But I still out here. I still strive to keep being who I am, and the ones who know me know how I am. So that's just something I want to speak on as far as mental health, and let you know that I'm in that battle. And if you are, and you're not alone. So salute to the mental health people. Keep that mental health sharp. Man.
What are some of the signs?
Signs, man.
A child that's, because you have a parent now that's listening now, and they don't try to beat it out of.
Yeah,
that ain't gonna work. But
signs definitely.
What are some signs that
I think when it's early on, when they're young, it's more like people will say they have ADHD or they hyper. You get put in that category as far as being that type of kid. But okay, when you start to get older, as you get your teenage years, you may start to do erratic things. Like if I can listen to anybody who talk about their kids, and if a person is say, "Yeah, my son," I can sometimes figure out that he got some mental problems, because I've done it before on this coworkers just talking about their kids and talking about people, but they just start doing erratic stuff and stuff. You be like, even as a parent, you be, I can't believe he done that. You might say those words and you keep it to yourself. First, you thinking they do some embarrassing thing, and you'll keep it to yourself. And even through our little ride with it, it was some family members who had to deal with some of the erratic things that he was doing. And
Anybody want to give a shout out to or
oh, definitely. I mean, on first and foremost, his sister, his brother, that still rocks with him. My cousin Tony Lewis, who took him in. His aunt Buffy, who took him in. My aunt Carolyn Terry, who dealt with what they dealt with. That's where they know. And there's a lot of people who knew some things through the rocky times when it got real. And Boozy saw some things. It's a lot of people who saw things and saw stuff that happened and they I don't know if they wanted to say something, but when it got real. But those people I named, I mean, it's been others that have looked out, that his friend in Georgia, Amber, a good friend of his, she's her parents, they looked out. His friend George, he think highly of you, George, and but just me, I'm his glue, and he definitely gonna, if he don't hear from me, he ain't right. So that's something that's just a touchy subject, but it's something that I go through that's real though.
Trust me, Ty, you ain't the only one going through it. It's people
Fact.
right now listening to it that's going through it. And as long as you ain't going through something alone, you know what I'm saying? It ain't something like why me type thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a light on the other side of it, you know what I'm saying? Because one thing is final. And you know what final is?
Oh, yeah.
When you putting dirt on, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
If it ain't that, then it ain't final.
Yeah, we don't normally glorify the people locked up, but it's some loved ones. I mean, everybody got a loved one behind bars,
and you can go to jail for doing some dumb shit, and you just go to jail for you got you slipped up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's a separation of that dumb shit. Now you mess with small kids or stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you're right, Ty. And we also give shout out to the people that went to college, and not just college, the ones that's in the military and that's doing good. Oh, well, the military. I mean, this is how I feel about this right here. Speaking of the youth, I don't want to say like I'm saying any discouraging about kids that's going to the Army and they finish basic training and they, the parents are proud and you got a right to be proud. But too many, I ain't say too many. Yeah, too many of us, to me, are going the Army route, and we need to go the law enforcement route. This thing that, I hate the police, for you black, whatever, that's a ploy to keep us against police so we won't join the police.
Yeah.
Only way we're going to fix it is to join. We need cops. We don't need bad cops. We don't need racist cops. That's all there is to it. But we need cops. There's enough of y'all act the fool out there where we need somebody to come pick y'all up. But there's so many fields in the police, in the law enforcement field or arena. I mean, it's forensics. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, with a microscope and DNA people, blood people, state bureau, SBI, all that alphabets. But the I guess to get to the chase of it is, it's so many alphabets out there and so many job opportunities that you can go and work a career for 20 years and have a pension just like the Army, but I'm quite sure you have a little bit more far as the police force once you get all them years up. But not knocking the ones that are going to the Army, because that's good, that's brave and all that story. But we need our youth to join the police force, women too. And that's the only way we're going to change it. I mean, I was in Hallsboro, Lake Walkmore, looking for this Mexican dude to fix my truck. And I didn't know where the street was at. So I stopped by, I seen an old white woman sitting on the porch. And I swung by. When I was going by her house, I passed a sheriff, and he kept on going. I turned and went in the house, and I went on her porch, and I asked her, about the street name, whatever. And she was, I said, I know the dude, and he fixed my son trucks or whatever. And she was like walking out showing me the next turn I got to make. But while she was doing that, that sheriff turned around and he came in the driveway and he sat there. And I knew what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to check, see what I was doing at the house, whatever. You know, I didn't really get mad, but I gave him that look. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you? You know what I'm saying? I gave that look, but I thought about it too. We need more young black cops where if my mama sitting on her porch and some crazy, or I don't look crazy, but some tall white dude was at her porch talking to whatever, I would love to have one of my nephews or cousins or boys I coached before being a cop that would swing around and check on her. You know what I'm saying?
That helps a lot. That helps out, as far as having that right there. But it's like it's a stereotype, man. As far as
the media telling us that don't be cops.
It messed us up when it comes to pursuing those fields.
It's on purpose. Just like we talked one time before about the NBA. They have so many people retiring or gotta go at the end of the year, and they have so many people come in. Every time there's a draft of 50 some or 200 people, whatever it is, when they move in, somebody's moving out. The same thing with generations of, I would say, white Americans. They got to have certain jobs. It's so many of them. They got to have certain jobs when they get out of high school or graduate school, whatever, that media is helping to encourage us not even go. If we would go for them same jobs, America would have a problem because there's not enough jobs because as you know, I ain't sad to say though, but it happens. Whenever we go into a neighborhood so much, you know what I'm saying, like 2 minutes in the neighborhood, some of them start moving out. Or we go to a job and we eat on a cafeteria at a job, one side is look like that, and one side is the other race, whatever. So the media plays a role on keeping us from being the police by the rap songs, the TV, or whatever, because they gotta every year, those I'll say 80,000 white people gotta have them job, or 50,000 white people that graduate high school or whatever, gotta have them firemen. And watch, most fireman jobs are gonna be like around here is volunteer, but fire department everywhere gonna be, you know what I'm saying, paid by taxpayers, and they're gonna have A.M.Ps, whatever, and it's just another field just to make sure that as long as all of us going to the army, we're not messing up those going in, those retiring. The whole thing. If we stop going to the army so much and join them other fields that makes a whole lot of money and a whole lot of things, we'll disrupt the system.
But see, it seems like it's all the strategies seem designed to keep going the same route. These kids that don't want to play sports, that really don't have a parent that has their own business, are gonna get pushed to be in the JROTC, the Paul Browns, the military type of atmosphere, because maybe you came up in a single home and you ain't got no structure, and you acted out one time in a public school, and you sent them to you got them out of the public school and you sent them to Paul Brown, and then they get you into the ROTC part of it, and then you can go to the military, and that's.
And sad to say,
put it in the head.
Some of them need to go to the military.
That's true.
But some of them that's smart.
Everybody don't fit the criteria.
I don't want to say like if you're a military, you dumb.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? If you got a certain
we just saying there's other things to pursue.
Exactly.
Than the military. Exactly. Don't get us wrong. Both our parents was in the military, not maybe by design, but they was. So
our kids don't even have it in their head to be anything else besides entertainer, like sports entertainer.
If you ain't a
or
ball
military
player, entertainer, or the military, those are the three core things that most black kids pursue.
That's crazy. We need to get out of that mentality. All right, Ty, what you think about? We came up during the crack areas. You know what I'm saying? Whenever crack was strong and it came and passed, and now you got the pills epidemic.
Hmm.
A lot scary, a lot more bodies dropping. But
Yeah.
I don't believe it's as much.
Or they
I
don't
could be
talk about it.
wrong. Is it as much like gang shootings and stuff, or like back then, certain cities over them drug wars, they really bad. But see now it's like you can sell drugs through your phone and meet you. You know what I'm saying? So there ain't no blocks no more.
Yeah.
You gotta sell.
There ain't nobody in the streets no more. I was, just riding through the streets, not to say I'm looking for somebody, but you don't see people out on the side of the roads like we were.
And these pills, they killing. Okay, so they say the fentanyl. If there's too much fentanyl in the batch or whatever, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna kill people. I believe that's how they know it's too much in there. When bodies start dropping, then they take a little bit off the. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way they can know that they tested their own self though. But this pills thing, okay, what would you like to say to the youth that are not on pills, got friends that's on pills, or just starting pills and ain't gone yet? I mean, when somebody gone, so they ain't gone yet. What advice would you give them being an OG?
I mean, first and foremost, you when it comes to this drug, these things you can get hooked on, alcohol, whatever, you got to have your own mind, or that's where you're gonna first fall victim. I mean, some people done things because they thought it was cool. I mean, don't be naive. Don't be dumb. Don't fall for that because you think because your boy doing it, that's what you're supposed to do. That's one of the biggest downfalls there is. I don't care if a pile of my friends doing something. If I didn't want to do it, I don't do it. That's how strong I was. But for the ones who not, and now that it's a whole lot of more. It's more temptation for y'all than it was for. I ain't gonna say for us. I mean, we came up in an era that
we wasn't doing nothing white.
Nah.
You had somebody to come down from up top and they wanted some Ron one time.
Yeah, Ron. What's that? I didn't even know what it was. We know what we want. I'm like, what are you talking about? But that was some people tap into things they don't got no business tapping into, and then you get a point of no return. I mean, I won't even sit there and say I won't knock it. There's to each his own what you tend to do, but when you young, you gonna be tested far as who you be with around your peers and what they do, and you either gonna do it or you gonna say, nah, I'm not gonna do that. And I mean, that might sound, that it's just that simple. Yeah, it is. It's just that simple. If you got a strong mind, you're gonna be able to say, I can't do this. But if you don't, you're gonna try it, and now this game now that people ain't coming back from when you start getting hooked on pills and stuff, because they don't discriminate. They don't care if you white, black, or girl or boy, or that's my baby or whatever. Nah, they don't care nothing about that. These hooked on stuff, what they got in this stuff. And we done seen them take out a lot of people that we love and in our families and stuff, but that's not nothing to play with. So that's about the best thing I can tell you. You better have a strong mind to say no. Yeah.
I feel you on that, brother. My next question to you: how do you feel about abortions? If you don't want to answer, I understand, because some people, so you might try to run for something, for office in the future or something,
Yeah.
But
I think I'm being a politician, but I don't. I'm gonna be short and sweet with that. There's been a time in my life that was a situation that could have happened. I don't condone that. I don't get down with that. I didn't go through with that, and that's what I just stay with it on that. I don't agree with it. I don't, not what nobody else had to do, but I don't agree.
I got you. All right. Food. Another section on my podcast on the segments is food, home remedies, and farming show. You don't cook, do you?
No, I ain't much of a cook, man. Everybody normally always cook for the baby boy, but
If you was to work a double, and you come home and you get ready to crash, but you want your favorite food, your favorite plate on the table.
late.
You hungry as a abandoned hostage. Which one? What would you want on that plate?
Well, I love some fish, some salmon, and chicken. I still eat that. And, I'm a green man. I eat anything but them sweet peas. So you can green me to death. I love macaroni and cheese and soul food.
What kind of bread, man, are you? Are you cornbread, rolls,
cornbread,
biscuits?
roll? It don't matter. But I love bread. I eat whole loaves, but yeah, that's soul food, and we'll stay away from the pork. Yeah, I definitely like a good soul food plate.
So you take soul food over seafood boil?
Yeah.
All right.
I like seafood, but I kind of stay away from that.
All right. The other part of that was food, home remedies, and farming. You don't farm, do you?
Nah, man. I ain't much of the outdoorsman, but
Any farmers in your
teach
family?
my boys gonna be something like that. One thing about me, if I ain't good at something or can't do much, I'm gonna try to steer them younger ones in mind.
Still expose them to it.
Some kind of way. Somebody it's each one teach one, and I had some good people is showing my younger boys the way that something I probably could never show them. My pops ain't never showed me that. So I want to salute Pap, their grandfather. I want to salute him on that. Show my boys, taught them all about fishing and hunting, and that's something they're gonna be able to take with them. And my brother taught them the sports. I'm just the overseer. I'm not reals, but they taught things, and I.
You ever any farmers in your family?
Oh yeah, definitely. My grandfather was a tobacco man.
What's his name?
It was Edward Gathers. It was during the times when Mr. Truman, Mr. Leroy, Mr. Eugene, and it was a few farmers back in the day, but Granddaddy had his own, and he had workers. Grandma cooked for everybody. I was the young one out there picking up relief. Granddaddy paid me. The rest of them learned a lot. My older cousins.
And did the Great Migration hurt them too?
Oh yeah.
Basically, whenever as soon as anybody down here graduated high school, they shot to New York, and all the help from the farmers.
He had so many grandkids that during Granddaddy time, his grandkids pretty much were the workers in the barn.
Because his kids left, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they was already gone.
Them kids get of age.
My Uncle Sonny was the only one. He had one kid that helped him throughout. He was the only one that was working, but the rest of them was grandkids.
So that's why I gotta say we'll have it in us down here. We know how we should know how to farm. If you from the city and you used to come down here on summers and help somebody, it's in you too. So
right.
Sometimes farming skip generations though, but it's in us, and we got to get back at it.
We definitely lost. I mean, I don't know. It's like our generation, man. We was so much fun, man. We
distracted.
It was during the time of distraction.
Netflix, this phone, everything.
No, I'm just saying before now, like with us, when we was doing what we do and we were in our early 20s, and we was What were we doing? We was just having fun.
Yeah.
It was no thought of.
I put in tobacco before and all them whenever I was younger, and that made me want to get a job instead of have to do that, you know what I'm saying, for a way of making money. But we wasn't really, nobody was really drilling us about farming and stuff like that.
Nah, it definitely wasn't. I know my pops, all the thing he told me to get a job. I'm like,
we had to cut the grass, but that's on the farm we was doing, cutting grass.
Yeah, just get a job, that's it. All right.
Yeah. And you know what I thought about too though? They our old school women, our grandparents, them, they had a way of doing stuff. I was saying now that we so unfocused now or out of focus, but back then they would eat when they get up in the morning when the chickens crow, and they would work and be busy all day.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time the sun go down, they'll have the food on the table, and they wouldn't eat no more because they wasn't doing nothing. Then the next morning, you always complain about going to grandma's house and no TV at a certain time and getting to bed, whatever. But that helped them live a longer life, I think, because the girls nowadays, they're eating whenever they're not doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
If it's 10 o'clock at night, whatever, and you still eating, what is that food doing in your body? Our grandparents did it naturally and not knowing what they were doing was good for their body by eating sun up to sundown.
That's right.
When the sun wasn't up, they wasn't eating, you know what I'm saying? And that helped them live a longer life because eating certain foods, certain times of night, give us nightmares, give us stomach cramps, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff though. But I was just thinking about our grandparents and stuff they did that we didn't know had that kind of meaning to it. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, that definitely skipped generation. Yeah.
My next question is, where do we go wrong as a people? Because right now we at the top of the category for everything negative. Prison, death, all kinds of diseases, all kinds of heart attacks. Be the top of the chart. Black women or a black man.
Is it design? Is it a design strategy?
It can't be natural.
So I mean,
natural.
That's what I'm saying. We done seen a lot in our time. I mean, it's something that's older that's seen more, but it's some of it seen design. It's like watching sports and watching for all them years, and now you don't look at it the same. I mean, that's just fact. As long as you live, so we got selfish because nobody don't want to lose what they got. To each his own. That saying that people want their own.
And what's crazy is all you got is your kids and your family.
At the end of the day,
Bill Cosby went broke. Michael Jackson went broke. Mary J. Blige went broke. She done sold more records than Elvis or anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Look what they do. Look what they do to people who claim look for glory, look for
money is their God. They don't say it though, but money.
It has to be, because when you see what the effects of whatever happened in their life and how it destroy them, you know, we want our piece of the pie too, but we came from a base where family was the base. You know, far as us, we not the people. We just some individuals, but as a people too selfish now. People just want what they want, and they don't care who's in the way. You know, I just say on this, and I don't get affected by it. Maybe I might be saying something I shouldn't be saying, but this thing that people can get, as far as information that you might know that could help you or your family gain some little generational money, some little bit of wealth, and the information that's being withheld from individuals that could reap some of the benefits is straight selfish. I say that, I don't care who don't like it. I ain't saying it affected me or it didn't. I won't say either way, but there was ones who knew that, that it didn't cost you a dime. And you could have passed that information on. See, that's the things that I'm talking about us, why we are selfish.
And we gotta get some insurance too, because whenever somebody die, a lot of families that was tight,
Yes, we've seen it. We see it all the time.
Death will test you.
What?
Death will test a family. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So it's good to get insurance, and with that insurance, a good insurance policy plan, and write down who you want to get what and everything.
That's right. And check on them people. Some of the people who you know is handling their business supposedly, it might not be. Might hit a snag and them insurance might have lapsed and something could happen to them and they'll lose it all. I'm only speaking for experience.
One of the hardest things in the world to save is cash, and you all gonna go through good times and bad times. It's how you handle them and what kind of person you are. You know what I'm saying? I always respected Tracy Perkins. You probably, what is Tracy Perkins? Because no matter what, to me, she was always the same person.
Fact.
No matter if her cousins come down from New York, whatever, and you know how back in the day, people come out from New York and they was your cousins. You got an accent, just like they had an accent while they were down here and stuff. Yeah. But one thing I always said about her, she's always the same person, and that's how you should be. I mean, you shouldn't. To me, it's exhausting being fake or phony. But at the same time, if you're not fake and phony, you will lose a lot of friends in this world.
They'll leave you quick, and a lot of people think that's the way to go, to be fake. But a real person can read a fake person, so
all day.
A lot of people don't understand that.
How do you feel about ratchetness? Like going in store, like I said, going in store and how people acting in stores. What's supposed to be cool nowadays and ratchetness.
I never condone ratchetness. One thing about me, I'm trying to think. Have I really ever been in? And I call it our era ratchetness. Ratchetness when I see somebody stumping more than 2 or 3 people stumping one person out. That's ratchet. That burnt me up back in the day, and that do the same thing now as an older person. I don't like to see people take advantage of one person. That's ratchet to me. That make me want to join forces with that person that everybody taking advantage of. But ratchet is on a whole nother level now.
Is this ratchet? You go in the store and a girl in there, she probably about 19, 18, just left the house or whatever, and she loud and flat. She got a curse on everything she's saying in the store. You ever had that before?
Straight ratchet.
Oh, I hate that.
But sometimes you got these young girls, I mean, and whether I want to talk about the young one or the old one, but I say the young one, they think that's cute.
They really
do. And what did I say about the old one? I ain't gonna call you ignorant, but you got something wrong with you when you go out. Some people can provoke you. I mean, people can push your butt.
Ratchet time. I'm talking on their cell phone saying this to somebody.
That's ratchet. It's I don't understand what you're saying now. Like, ratchet is ratchet.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying on that. I don't condone ratchetness. Some people love it.
Yeah, lifestyle.
You know, if you and me being the head of my family, the ones under me not gonna be ratchet around me. You're gonna end up being checked with that ratchetness around me because I don't.
Right. Okay, let me ask you this. If somebody had $20 million to give Powell to invest in something for his people here in Blaine County, what would you do with $20 million?
$20 million
with your people. What would you bring here? What would you build here? What would you do with it?
What would I build here in Blaine County? That I would probably be involved with it, and I would really take my time out with too. It would just be a united building where
a YMCA or a community
something,
center?
whether you want to call it that, community center YMCA, but it's gonna be a place of all resources where for kids, man. And we can't save the world. We can't save everybody. I would like to try to have something in line to save these kids because we're not gonna be here forever. They don't know how to fend for themselves to run this world. I don't think the young ones, and they don't got the even the knowledge, the mindset to even make it without who right there. I mean, we don't know. I ain't gonna say I didn't know. I always worked, but after my lifeline left, my mama, that's why I say that. I had to fend for myself as far as the really, I mean, yeah, Tyler, man, he could take care of himself. But when people there to help you through these bad times, if a person don't know how to fend for themselves like that, those are the people that struggle when that lifeline leave them. So you would have to have in place the people. Okay, how would you get the help you have make something like this be successful? You kid to be without. You want to teach them. I mean, ones that got fathers don't have fathers. You're gonna be that father-like figure, but that would be a lot of time and resources. But $20 million is a lot of money.
You can pay for time.
But that would be my target is the youth because I did work with the youth. That's something I love. I wasn't an actual teacher, but I taught though. Like my going into HR, the HR lady asked me what was my objective on my job, and I was a custodian, but I told her I was more than a custodian. She laughed at that, but at the end of the day, that I was more than a custodian. I was a father to some kids. I gave kids stuff, money, and food, and knowledge, and helped them out.
And you had to get the runners too, didn't you?
And I had to get runners.
We got a runner.
You know, one time a kid had a seizure, and I'm the only man on the job, and I was scared to death. They called Mr. Powell. I picked that kid up. You know, I did things I ain't never thought I could do, and I loved it. So that would be where I would probably focus at the youth and to build some type of united front for them to have access to. No, you won't get turned away for nothing. I mean, if you need me to straighten them out for a while, they got a place to be at.
That's what's up. All right. Well, you already basically answered the number one thing. Well, if you were to pick just one thing that's holding us down, the one right now that you would say, if we didn't do that, that would help out our people a whole lot. Whether it be
jealousy. Jealousy always hold us back. Nobody don't want to see nobody get ahead of them. But there's some people out here that don't mind. I mean, I don't mind. I don't have to be the face. Some people got to be the face. If they ain't the face, they ain't got no say. We play the scene. We play behind the scenes all our life. That's all right with me. But some people don't know how to fall back and
be humble.
And be humble. That's where it's gonna all show. So, you know, that we don't help each other enough.
All right. My last part of the segment, Fly, is I give you 2 minutes, and you can say thank you to anybody that over the years that looked out, gave you some advice or anything, or any acknowledgments, or to vent, or just to say your piece.
No doubt. But yeah, man, did this podcast with my boy A.M.P, man. We've been running for forever, and like you say, we don't even know how long it's been forever, but I appreciate this opportunity. This is the first time I ever done anything like this, other than you know, I spoke at World Funeral, and that was the hardest thing I done.
Yeah, keep him in peace.
And
R.I.P. World, man.
our boy World B, you know, that was the hardest thing. And I got put on the spot then.
Do we want to start R.I.P. from, you know what I'm saying? We be naming so many names right now. I
Man,
just thought about that. Right here, Mount Ollie, you know.
that was you know, we down here right at our spot right now. Me and A.M.P been sitting up here for hours, and he convinced me to get on. And I've been saying I'm gonna get on, and you know, like I said, we refrain from a lot of conversations. We got so much to talk about. You know, I ain't want to try to sway nobody. I ain't trying to be on no knowledge. You know, just try to keep it real. Let people know this real. Life is real, and you have to take the good with the bad, the ups and downs. Like I say, life done beat me down recently. A lot of people don't know that. Been in the pit, but I've been fighting. I'm a fighter. You know, when I say that Powell strong, that's real. And I have to tell myself that. So I just want to thank you guys, whoever looked and listening and gonna see this. I salute you. You stay in your grind, and you know, my kids, my 5 kids, you know, y'all my life, y'all already know that. Y'all know what I go hard for. And you know, my loved ones, my aunts, got a few left. Y'all know I love y'all. I don't get to see y'all much, but love is love. I don't get to see a lot of people, but you know, this no fly, Ty, KP, Mr. Powell, he out here trying to do the best he can and be the best person he can. But I'm gonna be back to do this though. There's gonna be more content, and like I said, I'm just freestyling right now. You know, we ain't ready to cut it off, but I can talk a little bit too when I get going. But I ain't gonna be on here long though. But peace out. I do want to give a shout out to, you know, there's a lot of OGs them left here, and I say OGs, real OGs to me, that some always been standing up people to me, and I looked up to. There's 3 men that I look up to big time in me in certain ways. You know, John Lee McCoy, Terry Lewis, Walter Drummond. Y'all just don't know. I'm taking a lot of things out the hat right now, because I said one day, you know, when I get married, I'm gonna acknowledge y'all for being real in my life. You know, John Lee, I worked for you as a young kid, and you know, me and you tighter than a lot of people know. But you know, my dad was tight, and Uncle Terry, you a wise dude, and I took a lot of knowledge from you. And Uncle Walt, I always saluted how you took care of your family. So those things right there always driven me to try to be the best person I can be. But I'm gonna get off here though, and that's gonna be all my salute and shout outs though. But appreciate this app though, and this podcast, and y'all peace out and stay blessed, and y'all send one up for the boy though every now and then. All right, peace.